Hi everyone in English 2323, it's Dr. E and I'm here with your week 11 instructional video. Week 11, that's a lot. So hopefully you still have some energy, keep it up. Let's walk through and see what we have going on this week. So if we go to the content area in D2L, week 11 is here for you. So you have a couple of things to read. I don't want you to be too concerned about the fact that you have 4 items because they are a bit shorter. We have the biographies of Catherine Mansfield and Jean Rees, and then some short works by them. Okay, so on Monday, everything should be available in terms of, you're watching the instructional video. There is a video with the instructions and information about the multimedia project. You do have a discussion post. Your participation quiz will be available by noon on Monday. If you don't see it by noon, please reach out to me just to double check. And then you also have a bonus assignment, but that's not due until December, but I'm putting it here just because this isn't a really heavy week for us, or maybe you have a little bit of leeway with assignments in your other classes, so this may be a good time to get a bonus assignment out of the way. Why not? There are only a few options to do this, so if you want to just make absolutely sure that you get the best possible grade at the end of the semester, why not? Why not get some points if you maybe missed an assignment before, or you didn't get the grade maybe you hoped for on a particular assignment? This just gives you a little bit of cushion, hopefully. All right. You have your league post that's due on Thursday, and then your quiz will be something you need to complete by Sunday, and then responding to the majority of your league by Sunday as well. So we have the video here for the multimedia project you're viewing right now, what will be number 1. There's the multimedia project guidelines and rubric that you can review here. It's also in the video. Your week 11 discussion, if you click on this, will take you to the area where you want to complete the work. So after reading the biographies and texts by Mansfield and Rees, let's work to compare and contrast not only their lives, but their texts. So I put here, you're going to write 4 paragraphs that examine all of these elements, comparing and contrasting. It can be really overwhelming to take all of that information and sort through it, create paragraphs that are comparing and contrasting. So I put my suggestion here, right? Why not? I mean, and if this is something you don't want to follow in terms of a guideline, then absolutely you're free to write in whatever way you'd like. But my suggestion is just take 1 paragraph kind of identifying the main points of the biography, a paragraph identifying the points from the second biography, and then 1 paragraph identifying an element, which is, a theme, a setting, a tone, a character from one text, and then a paragraph with doing the same work with the other. And in those paragraphs offering some comparing and contrasting notes, because there will be, areas where the authors cross over a little bit, but also areas where they're different, so you can pick and choose. Your only goal with the compare and contrast that's pretty brief like this assignment is to make sure you're giving equal weight to each author and to each piece, right? So the biographies should be about the same length. The paragraphs of analysis should have the same amount of information for each text, because sometimes we may enjoy Jean Rees's reading more or Catherine Mansfield's more. So we may write more about that because our wheels are really turning for that topic, and then not so much for the other author's piece. So we want to make sure we're weighting those pretty evenly so that it's not lopsided. Okay. All right, so each paragraph should have at least 1 quote to support your ideas. You can credit Greenblatt for the biographies and use page numbers, and then of course give credit to the authors for their individual pieces. I put finally here, create, a thoughtful, thought-provoking question for your group. You need to respond to one another. So what about these texts is interesting? What about their lives? That kind of thing. So push one another to think a bit more critically about those things that we're looking at this week. All right, so that's the discussion. If we go back to the content area and scroll down, you have your quiz that'll be available by noon, and then there's that bonus assignment here if you want to take a look at that. This is pretty similar to if you did the previous bonus assignment. This has some of the same kind of parameters. We're just taking all of that energy and applying it to Dylan Thomas, Thomas's biography, as well as a pretty famous poem, Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. So I have, paragraphs, you'll want to create at least 3 paragraphs kind of working towards these bullet points right here that are just urging you to look in particular directions, right? And then here's the template that you can utilize. So, I mean, a pretty straightforward kind of week this week, and what I'll be doing is taking some time to look through those written responses, providing you with feedback so that you can then work on overall revisions for the portfolio assignment, right? So that's not due this week, it's coming up. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for that. You can always start revising right now. There's nothing to stop you. You can always just make those final rounds of revisions when you get my feedback for your second response. But always reach out. Let me know if you have questions. Post in that Q&A discussion area, because if you have a question, other people are going to have a question as well. So why not get it out there and share? All right, everybody, have a great week, week 11.